Critical hit Punch All Nazis takes place in the early days of World War II and combines high adventure with cosmic horror. All dates, locations, and historical events are thrown out the window in order to create a fun story, so don't put too much thought into historical inaccuracies. All accents are done poorly, but with love, and no disrespect is intended. Last time.
I have cleared away rubble, and I found a woman.
The old ones were, the old ones are, the old ones shall be.
I yell, who sent you?
For the Black Sun! And you hear a crunch. Foam starts coming out of his mouth. The coffee shop is crowded, and it makes perfect sense why the Brigadier would send you here, because if anyone wanted to do you harm, they would have to do it in this large coffee shop / cafe. Certainly, the cafe is all abuzz of people talking about the explosion that just happened a few hours ago, the tragedy. What kind of madness is this? What is, and then some people are trying to tie the explosion to that German blimp that was seen in Brussels, and people are just, chatter. That's all people are talking about. The four of you are sitting in a booth or at a table.
I would say probably a booth.
Was gonna say the opposite for reasons of being able to get out of it quickly.
True, but I mean, if we're in a booth, people can't lean over and go, "Did you hear what he said?" I mean, they'd have to lean harder.
I mean,
rock, paper, scissors, Rodrigo.
Dutch and Valentino. I mean, we've got 4 people here. Let's see if we can get a split vote.
I mean, I was thinking table as well.
Okay, table, Rodrigo.
I'm gonna give it to the table by voting no confidence on the bar.
Okay. So there are people all around the tables enjoying their foods and whatnot. A young waitress comes up to take your order, and what would you like?
Espresso, large, hot.
Mm-hmm. And as you look up at her, Doc, the hand that is holding the pad also has this black sore on it. It's not like a weeping sore, but it is like, it looks infected. But she acts like, I mean, if this were a sore on my hand, I'd be constantly scratching it. But she is acting like nothing is wrong. There is no sore on her hand. You would think that in a cafe like this, you would at least have it wrapped up or something. But no, just a sore on the back of her hand holding the pad. And she's like, yes, espresso. And you, sir?
I'll just have a mineral water.
Very good. Valentino?
Yeah, just give me a black coffee.
Are you American?
Yeah.
Oh, are you a movie star? You look like a movie star.
No.
This is too bad. And finally, you, sir?
Tea?
Milk?
Please.
Okay. And she closes the notepad and wanders off. It's still probably, you got about 15 minutes before the Brigadier is, the 2-hour limit is up when he said he wanted to meet you. So you've got a little bit of time.
Okay. Yeah. You're right, Doc.
No, the waitress. I
mean, she wasn't that bad.
No, her skin, her hand.
Did we notice anything about her hand?
Did you guys look up at her while you were giving the order?
Actually, Dutch definitely didn't. Dutch is like...
Okay, so you didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Bug Eater?
It'd be impolite not to.
Okay, you saw the sore on the back of her hand. Valentino?
I mean, I probably would have looked up when she asked if I was a movie star.
Okay, yeah, so you also saw the sore on the back of her hand.
Yeah, that didn't look great.
What was it?
Sore on her hand. I saw it. It reminds me exactly of what I saw in the park earlier, right?
It does. It looks exactly like the same sore.
Like I saw another couple with it in the park earlier. It looked worse than anything I saw on the other guys in basic.
It doesn't look like any type of skin infection I'm familiar with. It looks evil.
Matthew, roll a insight plus medicine.
Insight plus medicine.
Difficulty 2.
Oh, man. I'm good at this. Yeah.
Now, also, what are your focuses in medicine?
Hang on, let me check. My focuses in medicine, surgery, and first aid.
Not infectious diseases? That's too bad.
No.
Okay. All right.
Scrub cow.
2 successes. Very good. No. Let's see. What is that? Did he do that right? Medicine 15. Oh yeah. So yeah, 2 successes. 2 successes.
I literally.
Yeah. Sorry, I was making because you've gotten your greater than and less than signs backwards.
I've had my sign backwards all night, and I finally fixed it. And it's like, wait.
Okay.
But you rolled 2 15s.
2 15. Well, 15 is greater, equal or less than 15. So
so you're right. This is not anything that you have normally seen. Although, with your medical training back at the Miskatonic University, you have seen some decomposing bodies that may have exhibited something like this in the past. But it's one of those things that you're too busy taking notes over all the other body parts. You know, you're trying to diagram the veins and the ventricles and where the lungs are inside the body. You may have been a little bit too busy.
They're in the middle.
Really pay attention to, black sores on these cadavers.
I suppose I should say never on a living creature.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Makes it even
or
more.
Maybe, yeah. Or again, it depends on whether you want to approach it with you never paid attention to it when you saw it, or that you just don't remember it.
I suddenly went, oh, ew.
Yeah.
That's totally what happened.
Okay.
A voice in my head said, but what if you did, though?
Anything else? What else are you guys talking about? So you, Brigadier just said he saw some people with this.
Blisco, where did you see those?
In the park that I spent most of the last hour in. A little over that way. Just a couple on a bench. Not great.
Yeah, I saw a squirrel with a similar diseased-looking skin. Actually, in that same park.
A squirrel?
I had some guy staring at me, but I don't think didn't seem to have any weird sores on him.
Do you guys think we're imagining these sores?
I doubt it. More than likely, it may be the opposite. It may not be that we're seeing something that isn't there. It's that we're the only ones that are seeing something that is.
That sounds worse.
It is worse.
The door to the cafe opens and the Brigadier walks in. And there's a group of people over in the corner who start yelling at him and berating him and, calling him loser. It's obvious that these are pro-Nazi people.
Oh, and the Brigadier is dressed like a...
Oh, yeah, the Brigadier. He is immaculate. He is well-dressed.
In full uniform, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. He's the Brigadier.
What percentage of the restaurant is yelling at him?
Oh, 4 guys. Just 4,
Malcontents.
Yes. Sitting in the corner doing that. You also hear in another corner a bunch of people applauding the general as he comes in. Belgium is, again, a neutral country. And so there may be some people that are pro-Nazi and people that are anti-Nazi. And so you can kind of get that here. This is almost, I don't want to say Rick's Cafe in Casablanca because, there's gambling in that establishment. I'm shocked that there's gambling in this establishment. Sure. But so you get a different mix. There's a big mix of people in here. The general starts to walk like he's walking to the back of the cafe. And as he passes your table, he stops for a moment and looks at you as, oh, hello. It's good to see you again. We haven't seen each other for so long. As he's acting as if this is the first time you guys have seen each other in a long time, and this is a happenstance meeting.
Oh, look, guys, it's the Brigadier.
Yes. Hello. And he's
long time no see.
He's kind of standing there awkwardly.
Would you like a seat?
Oh, thank you very much. And he takes his hat off. He sits down with you, and the waitress comes over with the same weird boil, thing on her hand. Takes the general's order, and he's hesitant for a moment. He sees, the sore, the boil or whatever it is, but he does place an order, and she turns around and leaves to go and do that. Were any of you followed?
Not that I noticed.
Not that I'm aware of.
I did have a guy who seemed to specifically be noticing me at a bar before I came this way.
In what way?
He seemed to be pretty blatantly staring at me, and when I tried to ask him if there's anything he's won, he told me I was the one and walked out of the bar and disappeared.
Wait. Did he exhibit any Yithian traits like you saw with Easy Peasy?
Seemed kind of similar.
And you spoke to him?
Yeah, again, just briefly before he walked off. I tried to follow him, but as soon as he got out of the bar, he seemed to just disappear.
The general just pauses for a moment to take all that in. Interesting. Well, it's been a interesting morning, I should say. There are a lot of things in the air at the moment. We lost a lot of people in that explosion. We're still not even quite sure who was behind it all, although we do have our suspicions that this probably was the Black Sun. Looks like they're escalating their war against us.
Yeah, I think we kind of got some confirmation on that.
Yeah.
Oh, how?
Actually, let's go point by point.
Okay.
After the explosion, I heard a woman who was saying that she saw everything.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, right before the explosion, a red-headed woman was talking to a man with a hunchback, and she shot him.
What did the woman look like?
She just said she had red hair. I don't remember if she gave me any.
I cannot believe the Black Sun would send someone like her here.
Her?
Yes, she might be Miss Bohm. She is a fairly high positioned person in the Black Sun.
Okay.
Was she attractive?
This lady did not tell me that, and I did not see her. However, as this was happening, I noticed that there was a man in the crowd, a young man, taking pictures, and he seemed almost aggressively like
nondescript.
Yeah, nondescript. And because he seemed calmer than anyone else too, I went up to talk to him, at which point he ran away from me. Valentino and I gave chase. I knocked him down. He exclaimed for the Black Sun. And
yeah, there's a lot of noise, so
yeah,
people would have to be really close to your table to really overhear what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, and then killed himself through what I guess from the pulps to be a cyanide capsule.
It would make sense, and he was taking pictures.
Yes, I got his camera, and also his passport and ID, and yeah,
very good. And he, may I have them?
Yeah, of course. And
it would make sense that in an operation like this, that not only are they trying to harm our organization, but they may also have placed a photographer to see who the operatives we have might be. Does that make sense? I mean,
it would be perfect opportunity as in the confusion to take pictures of people as they're coming out of the building or out of the rubble and finding out more about what is going on with us. So very good. Very good. Oh, good job. And he gives you a pat on the shoulder.
Oh, thank you. I'll slide over all of this stuff.
Okay, and he kind of puts it underneath his hat, kind of lifts up his hat and puts everything underneath.
So that's all I saw at the initial incident. Does anybody else have something that they want to talk about?
I do.
Okay. Yes.
Begging the Brigadier's pardon. How are you not injured?
He takes a deep breath. Let's see. Can you, Matthew, roll an insight plus, I guess, insight plus observation?
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty 1?
I can probably do that. Two successes.
Very good. He pauses for a moment, and then he says, I believe a load-bearing wall prevented a lot of the building coming down on me. And he seems to be very confident in that story.
Mm-hmm.
But you, Doc, can tell that he may not be telling the entire truth.
I so want to say the catchphrase, but it's a curse word, so I can't. And your secretary, sir.
Oh, Mrs. Kettlepot. Oh, the poor woman.
I found her, and she...
Yes, she was dead. Thank you for finding her. It's...
she wasn't dead when I found her.
Well, I imagine with the building falling on her, she wouldn't be alive for very long.
She was alive long enough to open her eyes and scream at me with completely black eyes.
What did she scream?
I didn't write it down, but
I did.
I totally repeat it to him.
Okay.
Yeah. The old ones are, the old ones were, the old ones shall be.
Yep. Reverse. Were, are, and shall be.
Where are and shall be. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to investigate. We'll have to investigate this. Listen, we have been compromised, obviously, and I have contacted Section M back in England, and everyone who survived is being ordered back to Kent. I have taken the time to alert General Eisenhower and your Sergeant Doolittle that all of you are okay, and you are all okay, correct?
Okay enough.
We are intact.
And he points at Doc, you look a little haggard. I would suggest tea to calm your nerves. In any case, General Eisenhower wants you to continue on this cooperative mission with us.
Okay. So are we going back to Kent?
No. Unfortunately, as the situation has escalated today, we don't have any operatives on the mainland, and so you are it. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to reach Captain Harris since he left yesterday to investigate the crystal location in Germany on that map you might remember, and he's pointing at you, Dutch. And not being able to hear back from Captain Harris is very concerning.
So I'm guessing if we get into trouble, there's no point in calling the number now?
Oh, no. That number can put you in touch with us anywhere.
Oh, okay. I see.
Now, you do remember... remember the code?
The number and the code, yes, I do.
Okay, very good. As far as the Germans that you stumbled upon that night, we don't know any new information on them, but this morning the boys were calling them night wolves because of their black clothing and the insignia on their clothing.
Mm-hmm.
We are at this point very unclear where they fit into the Nazi hierarchy. I assume they're part of the Black Sun, but I don't know.
He reaches under the table and he reaches into his pocket and he slides across the table to you a bundle.
Yeah.
This is all I could scrape together on short notice. Do you all have your passports, your identifications?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
Okay. You are continue to be American tourists. This bundle contains 800 monies. It's all I could scrape together on this short notice. But it will have to do. If you need a flight anywhere, we have an airfield just over the border in France that can fly you anywhere you need to go. It is a proper military base. They are alerted to be on the lookout for you, and we have quietly, to the need-to-knows, informed them of who you are and what you are doing. When you show up to any of our bases, use the code phrase, and that will help identify you. I've let them know that you are doing specialized work, just like the librarians, just like the doctor, and poor Mrs. Kettlepot. You were able to go with the doctor.
He looks at the group of you.
You were able to look at the creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you able to get the information that you needed?
Kind of glances at Doc.
Just, honestly, yes. I mean, put it this way. I didn't find what I'd hoped, but I also didn't find what I'd feared.
Well, what did you fear and what did you hope?
I had hoped that they had somehow discovered the wheres and whys of the thing. Which,
yes, again, we're calling them Shoggoths. We don't know much about them. We've only encountered them 2 or maybe 3 times. The first time almost decimated the entirety of Captain Harris's unit.
Mhm.
They're lucky. The ones that came back are lucky to be alive.
I'd hoped
we don't know.
Perhaps we had discovered some sort of weakness, say silver or salt, or
No, but the lightning guns that the Nazis have appear to do good damage. And certainly we've developed one of our own weapons. But that's there's only one of those.
Yeah.
So.
Brigadier, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What are the sores?
You're talking about the young woman over there.
Mm-hmm.
Amongst others.
Others?
He looks around to see if he can see any others, and sure enough, about 4 tables over, there is a young man, very, clean-shaven, short-cropped hair, everything. He's wearing a nice business suit, and behind his left ear, extending down, probably about 3 inches down from behind his ear, down his neck, he clearly makes out another one of these black boils.
That is curious. I will have the boys in Kent do some work, and the next time that we talk, I will try to share that with you.
Okay.
Listen, Carcosa is the name that you guys were looking for, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We received a little bit on Carcosa while you were upstairs with the creature. The only thing that we have come across right now, the librarians before everything happened, it seems to be a city in another dimension. But as far as a doorway, we haven't been able to find that location yet. Now, we are aware that there's a library in Paris, which may know more about Carcosa. I'm sorry, the rhyme that you had. I'm sorry, the paper was lost in the explosion.
Oh, I can rewrite it for you.
That's okay. I think it's best that you have that information now. And the researcher in Paris may also know a little bit more about the luminaries. So I'm asking you right now to continue on with this mission. You are our only operatives in Europe besides Captain Harrison. Again, I'm very concerned about what may have happened to him and his small team. But I need to know that you are ready to continue this mission, wherever it may go.
At this point, I don't see any other choice.
Very good, very good. It seems like this explosion, the Black Sun attack, if it was the Black Sun, and now I'm thinking, as he points to Dutch, if he did screen that, it seems like they would be behind this. Seems like they have taken this secret war to the next level, and whatever you stumbled upon in the forest or in Brussels is something big and important.
Yeah.
Now listen, as soon as we're able to reestablish new HQ on the continent, we will get additional recruits, and we will be able to bring you back in. But right now, I need you to be on your own, and I need you to be the best that you can be.
Well, you can count on us, Brigadier.
Ah, very good, very good. I knew we could. I know that there was a rough start, but now it's more important that we get a handle on what's going on so that we can counter this Nazi menace.
Mm-hmm.
What
should we? Oh, I was going to ask if we should perhaps head to Paris first.
Paris is certainly an option if you are going to continue the investigation onto Carcosa, because that seems to be what those Herr Montauk and Herr Dienstag were most interested in Brussels. That would be a good decision, although Captain Harris is really a good soldier, but I'm going to leave it up to you and let you use your best judgment.
Well, the only other lead we have is in Germany, so that seems, without support, that seems a little bit of a dangerous mission. So maybe we should head for Paris first.
Agreed.
All right. And he writes down on a napkin an address in Paris, and he kind of slides it over. I need Valentino. Could you do I think I'm going to let you do Insight plus Academia. Difficulty of 1.
Okay. 1 success.
Perfect. 1 success. Now, you didn't have any focuses or anything, did you?
My Academia is only 4, so cryptography.
Okay.
But
in cryptography. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
1 success is all you needed. You recognize this address.
Oh. Fair enough. This.
You don't have to share that, but I'm just letting you know that you know this address.
Okay.
It's up to you if you want to. I don't care.
I think this would be Antoine's address.
Yes, his name is Antoine.
I know this fella.
Well, good. Very good then. Do you plan on driving, or will you be taking a plane?
That's a good question.
You're probably a good 2.5, 3 days drive if you wanted to go to Paris, or you are, about a 3-hour flight.
Would the flight be comped?
Oh, you would be driving you would be flying one of the military aircraft.
Kind of like a bug eater.
Well, do we have a car available, or we'd have to buy one?
It might be best to take a train or public transit to the airfield.
Okay.
We unfortunately, quick investigation of the garage or garage. This is Earth D20. These accents are perfect. Spot on.
Yeah, these are exact. This is
exactly on Earth D20 how these people talk.
Yeah, people can tell what part of Leicester he's from.
Yeah,
yes. The cars that we had were made inoperable through the explosion and then the subsequent fire, unfortunately. Cost of a car. Price of a new car in 1939, roughly $700. Or I should say 700 monies. You have 800 monies, and that's all you know that you have.
That would be the entirety of our money. So
yes. So it seems like we know who blew up the building. We don't know why they wanted to blow up the building, except that, they're Nazis and they do evil things. But are they trying to cover up something? I just don't know.
I mean, we captured one of their creatures, so...
We definitely did, yes. We've actually captured 2 of them in the past. The second one, unfortunately, decomposed too soon before it got back to our headquarters.
And we've run afoul of their agents, so maybe... And they may just have this information. They didn't know if we were working with you. But Montag and Dienstag, they saw us. They got away. So it's possible that this attack was simply to see if they could smoke us out and rule us out as who we are working for. Because we didn't tell them.
Well, then it's very good then that you were able to get this camera, because we prevented any of our agents that have not been identified from being identified by the Black Sun. So very good.
Yeah. The last picture on it is a picture of the man who was taking the photos. And I don't know what sort of influence you have right now, but he didn't die through being crushed by a building. He was poisoned, or he poisoned himself. So there might be some covering up that you need to do. I don't know.
People die. I'm not concerned with. Did you leave any ID on him?
No, we took everything.
Then my guess is he will probably be identified as a spy. He was wearing German clothes, yes?
Yep.
Yes, so I'm going to imagine no identification wearing German clothing. They will assume he's a spy.
Well, that works.
Quite. Anything else that I might be able to help you with right now? The waitress, during all these conversations, the waitress had come and given you your drinks. The Brigadier has not touched his at all. He's just let his go cold.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
I can't think of anything.
Very well, gentlemen. Then you have your orders. Once again, I appreciate what you're doing. And I'm hoping that you are able to find the information that we need to stop whatever, and he just kind of looks around, whatever is going on.
That's our hope as well, sir.
He kind of stands up and he starts shaking your hands. Very good to see you all again. Very good. It's been such a long time. Don't be strangers. And he kind of scoops up his hat with the camera and the other documents that you gave him, Dutch, and he turns and walks out the door. Now, I will say, as far as character knowledge, in a general vicinity where this British airfield is in France. You will have to cross the border to get there, but you know where it is. It's not like it's hard to miss.
I mean, We've crossed borders before. That's how we got here.
Yes.
Is it possible to take a train?
Yeah. From this town, I mean, the train system in Europe right now is really good, at least in this D20 version of this world, is very, very good. So being able to get from one city to another, there may be some delays if there's any bombings once you cross the border into France. But for the most part, it's a pretty straightforward train ticket. It'll take you about 2 hours to get from where you're at to the border, and then another hour to get to the city or the town where the British Air Base is located. So is that what you guys are going to do?
I think
I'll put it to the table. I'll be like, so do you want to just start heading there now? Do you want to rest up? I mean,
by now it is late afternoon.
Okay. Would these be sleeper trains, or would they be sitting up and getting punched in the face trains?
These are sitting up trains. The last train that would leave under a normal schedule probably leaves in about 2 hours. They're not, because this is not a long distance train. is probably not going to have sleeper cars, but I mean, you've all sat up and slept before.
True.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can take the train and just sleep on the ride.
Okay. You go down to the train station. You purchase tickets. Everybody roll an agility plus stealth.
Oh no.
Difficulty of 1. I just want to see if there's anybody watching you.
Should we be rolling like something to notice people watching us instead of
That's
like
your that would be observation and insight if you wanted to see if anybody, but really if you're trying to be sneaky and go unnoticed, you would want to be agility plus stealth.
God, doing so good.
Yeah. 0 successes for me.
Okay.
0 successes for Valentino. 0 successes for Blisco.
And
Come on, Dutch, bring it home.
here we go.
Roll it.
Level 20.
1 success.
Success. Yeah.
Sorry, I ruined it.
All right.
Oh, we are bad at this just all around.
We are just terrible. We are not.
Nobody
This is not supposed to be a stealth campaign.
Yeah, I
Out of the
If
way,
you're-
Americano's coming
pitched,
through.
yeah, I pitched 2 characters, one of which was like a sniper. So this is the part where that character would have actually been good at things.
Yeah, so you're able to get on the train. You're very polite to everyone. You're able to find a seat and sit down. And then your compatriots come in and they're kind of maybe tripping over a little bit of stuff, bumping into people. It's very clear that these 3 are Americans.
Yeah, everything in Europe is smaller.
Well, and
true.
also these guys are kind of loud and
Yeah.
Europe is the opposite of Texas.
yes.
Instead of big hats, they have small hats.
So if there was anybody following you, at least for you, Dutch, they probably don't really pay that much attention to you. But the other 3 people definitely are paying attention to who these guys are. If someone were to say, "Did anyone see any Americans?" They'd be like, "Yeah, there were 3 Americans on this train when we were going to France." So that is probably the upshot of that.
Yeah. Definitely not trying to sneak so much as create a cover that we're just young Americans on holiday, if you will.
Yep. So the first part of the train ride goes uneventfully, and you do hit the border, at which point the train stops so that people can come on and inspect everyone's passports.
Do we see a red line on the map?
Yes, there is a red line. It's a very short red line going from a small town or small city in Belgium, just right to the border 2 hours later to stop there.
I'll get out my passport.
Okay, everybody gets out your passport. They come around. There's 2 of them. They look at everyone's. They look at their faces. They go down the train. They get to you. This is probably going to take like 20, 30 minutes. These are the people in your car. You can see other soldiers in the other cars doing the exact same thing, trying to make this as easy as possible. They get to the 4 of you. Passports. You hand them your passports. They look at Bug Eaters and they look at you. Nebraska?
Yeah. Give him a big old toothy grin to make it look more like this picture on my passport.
Oh, yeah. Yep, definitely. He hands that back to you. He turns to Valentino. Hollywood?
No.
He takes your passport. He opens it up. He looks at it, looks back down, looks at you, looks back down. Closes it, hands it to you. He goes to Dutch, takes your passport. He opens it up, pauses. He looks at you again. He goes over to his companion, and they whisper into each other's ears. They're whispering. They're looking at Dutch's passport and then looking back at Dutch. And finally, he closes it up and he goes back to you. Your purpose here, sir?
I am on holiday with my friends here. Trying to show them a good time in Europe while the getting's good.
If you notice that the companion is standing, a few feet away, and he's just writing stuff in a notebook. And these are French. These are French soldiers at the border. And then he's like, very well. And then he goes to Doc, looks at your passport, and is kind of taken back because, wow, okay. And he very quickly closes it back up and hands it back to you. Enjoy your stay in France.
I never thought having a terrible photo would work to my advantage.
So, 10 minutes later, the trolley car comes around. You guys can get some snacks if you want snacks. You can take a nap. As you get to the town that has the British airfield.
Yeah, just in case, I'll make sure we set up shifts.
Okay. All right. You arrive to the town where the British airfield is. It's still relatively early. If you get off the train at the station as everybody disembarks, there is a cab. There are cabs that can take you where you need to go.
Okay. Well, we can take a cab.
Okay. You tell them your destination?
Yep.
Hey, you are Americans, yeah?
Yep.
I love America.
We do too. That's one thing we already have in common.
Yes. When are you going to come over and help?
Oh, I wouldn't know. We just graduated, so we don't really know much about it.
It's not our decision to make.
Yes, true. Why are you going to the British airfield?
I have a friend there.
Oh, it's good friends. Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna see if he can teach a bug eater here how to do some loop-de-loops.
Oh. That train was from Belgium, no?
We did come from Belgium, yes.
Oh, I think they're going to be attacked very soon. Nazi blimp.
Oh yeah, we heard about that.
They're going to. They will regret staying neutral in this war. I promise you that.
I get that. I think I agree with you. I think that neutrality is a tacit endorsement.
You tell your President Roosevelt then he needs to get into this war.
Well, the guy you really need to get to is Eisenhower.
And he kind of looks at you like, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah. That's like our big, that's like the top of our forces.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And then you arrive at the base. He drops you off. You are down one monies.
If I can,
sure. Yeah.
I'll try to get some information out of him. How have things been around here? Have people? Is France currently under attack?
It is. They are. They've actively declared war.
Sometimes bombings, sometimes air raids. People are trying to move as far away from the border as they can.
Yeah, probably not the best time for us to take a vacation. But we had been planning this for so long. We're probably going to have to end up cutting it short, though.
Well, certainly going to Spain, going to Morocco, going to Norway. Not involved in the war yet.
Right.
Anything else?
Nope. Just wanted to get general sense of how things were.
Yeah, so you can tell that he's concerned, but he also knows that, hey, this is my job. I got to do my job. People are scared, yeah, that's kind of where he's at now. Everyone's very nervous about what's going to happen next.
Okay.
There is a soldier at the gate of the base.
I'm guessing we get out of the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
He drives off and waves out the window at you.
So this guy, bye.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is British, right?
Yes. This is a British air base.
I'll walk up to him and
May I help you?
Yes. We are delivering food here for your highest officer.
What?
We heard that Franklin wanted a turkey.
And he pauses for a moment, and he goes, wait here. He goes inside the little booth, picks up a phone, is talking, nods his head, hangs the phone. Go to the base commander.
Thank you.
Or actually, I should say, go to the base commander.
I can't believe you've been sitting on that Sussex accent this whole time.
I know, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a lot of Quonset huts. There is a small tower, but this is definitely an airfield where the British and French forces can launch raids onto Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of activity here. People are constantly working on planes. You see planes taking off. You see planes landing. You see, by this time, you can see the light from the tower spinning to let everyone know what's going on. Just a lot of activity going on as it gets darker. Bliska, what are you doing?
Checking out the sights at this point.
Are you like giddy?
Kind of.
This is probably more planes than you have ever seen.
Absolutely. Just like eyes are up in the sky, making sure I catch anything that's flying past.
Okay, very good. You get to the base commander. What can I do for you?
We would like transportation to Paris.
Well, let's you want to finish these boys, huh?
Yes.
He kind of strokes his chin, kind of screws up his eyes. He opens a chart. That is a supply plane leaving in. Oh, you boys better hurry. 10 minutes.
All right. Well, traveling light anyway.
He picks up the phone, is barking some orders. Hold the plane for these guys. As you step out, good luck. As you step out, there's a Jeep pulls up, and you guys can jump in, and they can take you to the airfield.
Thank you.
Yes, good luck. And he waves. You get to the plane, and it is on the it's ready to taxi on the runway.
Yeah.
Propellers are spinning. It's a two engine jobber. People who are all into the World Wars IIs and the proper planes and all that stuff. Hey, it's a two prop jobber. It's definitely got some cargo in it, and it's painted colors. And the back door is open, waiting for you.
Does it actually have seating, or are we like?
Oh yeah, there'll be some maybe a little combination of both. A few seats, but boxes as well. Maybe not that, but there's definitely places where you guys can get in and get situated. Stow anything that you may have, which I don't think you do. Right? You don't have any clothes or anything like that.
Yeah, we definitely need to spend some time settling in and buying some clothes, buying some mostly clothes. One of the crew members closes the door as you all climb in and get seated, and he locks it by twisting the handle up, and the handle comes off in his hand.
Uh-oh.
And he just looks at you and goes, "Bloody gremlins." And the plane taxis and flies off towards France and to Paris. Critical Hit Punch All Nazis is a production of Major Spoilers Entertainment and was produced and edited by me, Steven Schleicher. You can get a behind-the-scenes making of this episode when you check out the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu edition at our Patreon page, patreon.com/Major Spoilers. What's next for this team of adventurers? Find out in the new episode debuting on Tuesday. We didn't have any named NPCs this week, but if you would like your name to appear as an NPC in a future episode of Critical Hit, become one of our associate producers at patreon.com/Major Spoilers. We have a lot of adventures to get through, and our list of patrons is getting longer, and this is your chance to immortalize yourself in our adventures. Don't forget, we want you to record yourself doing your best on Critical Hit and send it to us at podcast@majorspoilers.com, and your voice will join the growing chorus of fans, just like our college friend Carl, who appeared at the beginning of this week's episode. You don't have to be a patron to send in your recording, and we hope you do it soon. Questions, comments, jump into the Critical Hit Discord channel. You can find a link in the show notes. Thank you for listening. And until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2023 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.